Hello there, welcome back to Sepang, Kuala Lumpur for the second practice session ahead of the 2017 Malaysia Grand Prix. And a few things have happened since free practice one, Johnny. First of all, Lewis Hamilton has posted a video on Instagram, which I'll leave you to discover. I'm not going to ask you about comment about that. First of all, secondly, we've had the confirmation from Formula One management that the Chinese Grand Prix, not the China Grand Prix, is going to continue for the next 3 years. So for 2018, 2019 and 2020. And that it looks like they're going to change dates next year with Bahrain. So at the moment, it's the 8th of April, China, and the 15th of April, back-to-back races in Bahrain. But it looks like they're going to swap, pending confirmation from the World Council. So that if you are planning your calendar next year, it looks like 8th of April will now be China, and 15th of April will be Bahrain.
Yeah, you got it.
No, I haven't. It's the other way around. The 8th of April will now be Bahrain.
He hasn't got it.
And the 15th of April will be China.
He has got it.
I have got it. What about China then? Just want to make sure everybody's got that. What about China? Important race for Formula One.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah? Even though it's not the most loved in the paddock?
No, but again, Formula One is still very new to that part of the world. You know, like we have in sort of Bahrain, it's still sort of building. The locals are sort of starting to sort of grasp it. And I think China is in exactly the same situation. So we need to be there. You know, the technology we know is still around in China with all the sort of, battery
yes,
that
will be
into
important.
Cars. So it's something that is very, very important on the technology front.
Okay, the fourth thing that happened in between free practice one and where we are now is that the team principals, the strategy group, had a little meeting here. So it was Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Williams and Force India and Red Bull as well. What do you understand they talked about, Johnny?
Well, it seems to be back to sort of that budget cap. Once again, $150 million seems to be a number that's sort of being bandied around.
$150 million budget cap, okay.
Yeah. So it seems to be something that's been spoken about for how long?
Yeah.
Many, many years.
Yeah.
A lot of people sort of want it. There's a couple that sort of don't want it as well. But I think it's something, at least there seems to be the teams that are sort of in the mid-pack talking to the bigger teams as well. So hopefully that negotiation side will go well. Okay,
we're about to get buzzed by the old FA18 Hornets, I think. So let's go through the Force India garage while we're going to do Johnny Herbert's... Thank you very much. While we do Johnny Herbert's paddock people. But just quickly on that budget cap, it's not enforceable, surely. And Christian Horner, who's in that meeting, he'll be saying he's been always against it, as Ferrari have, by saying that you can't enforce it. How are you going to enforce it?
Yeah, well, it's always a difficult thing because they're always going to find sort of other ways of spending it. I remember we had a little chat with Christian in China when I was in the commentary box with Crofty, and I asked him, are you sort of up for this levelling of the playing field? He said, well, as long as we get the same money, they're going to have to dig in their pockets to give it to the small teams to bring them up. And that's where you've got the problem with it all at the moment. Yeah, okay. All right, now, for Johnny Herbert's paddock people, we tend to talk to people that you see on TV but don't always know who they are or what they do. And this lady you often see on the Force India pit wall, that's because she's Bernadette Collins, the Force India strategist, or senior strategy engineer. So, Johnny Herbert's paddock people, off you go. Here she is.
Hello,
Bernie, how are you?
I'm good,
yes, Mum and Dad, Bernadette, but it's all the team that seem to call you Bernie. But anyway, you're here. You're in a very, very important job for the team during the weekend. Where did it all start for you?
For me, it started because I did mechanical engineering at university. I really enjoyed the mathematics and the physics and sort of got into the engineering side. And then I was very fortunate in a graduate position to go straight into F1 and started in a design office in F1 with McLaren. And from there, sort of worked to get some track experience through the GT program and stuff. And then gradually moved to Force India and now on the pit wall.
There's a lot of ladies that are going to be studying engineering at the moment. What would you say to them is the best way of getting themselves maybe into Formula One, but in motorsport in general?
I think for me it was just the grind of experience that I got. So it was a lot of weekends in your own time, sort of doing the GT or any other series that you can that sort of gets you some track experience. Figure out if that's the type of thing that you want to do and then move from there.
And what about your position? Of course, you're sat there with all the engineers and trying to sort of go through as the race is going on what the strategy is. There's obviously a mission control that you've got back at the factory. How does that all work together for you sitting on the pit wall itself?
So for me, my role is sort of as a strategist, I'm responsible in many ways for both cars, although we've got individual strategists at the factory, and we sort of bring that together at the track to try and get the best strategy we can for both of our drivers, the best points that we can as a team. That's really important for us to pick up points every race. So I sort of liaise with the factory, with the race engineers that liaise directly with their drivers, and try and make sure that we've got the best strategy at the end of a weekend.
Seems as if you've probably got the most pressure on your shoulders. Okay, the drivers are out there, but it's you having to decide or change it during the race itself.
I think from that side, the strategy role is one where, in hindsight, it's very obvious exactly what you should have done. You should have waited that one extra lap and got the safety car, or you should have known the rain was coming. So from that side, there is a lot, but we do all work as a team. So I realise that without any member of the team, the strategy wouldn't work. And that's how it all comes together at the end.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I love the strategy side of it. And you do a brilliant job, Bernie. So thank you very much. No, thank you very much for joining us. That's
no
the latest
problem. I'll see you all
Johnny
later.
Herbert's Paddock People. And we're ready for another 90 minutes of practice around the Sepang International Circuit.